It's great to be here. Great to be back together, knowing that this Saturday we got a game, a great opponent, number 5, number 6 team in the country, based off what poll you want to look at preseason wise. Finished last season number 4 in the country. Lots of production coming back for them offensively, lots of experience coming back for them defensively. They got talented kids in the special teams game, coming out of a solid camp on our end, and excited to travel down to College Station and compete against a very, very worthy opponent and see where we're at as we start this journey and what sort of experience and lessons we can pull out of this week 1 contest.
Well, Alan, let's kick things off with you. Some opening questions here for Coach.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned solid camp. Can you detail that a little bit? What do you guys get out of camp in each phase?
Yeah, so having the time, having the full breadth of all the practices this year, we got to go back to how a traditional camp is ran, to really start in the front end, kind of the first week, base install of all of our schemes, working normal down and distance. And then as we work through, the couple scrimmages and the situational aspects of the game, you really want to come out of it with a great foundation of your base concepts and really increasing your team's overall football IQ. So those situational specific deals, whether it's, 4-minute offense, 4-minute defense, 2-minute offense, 2-minute defense, backed up, coming out, sudden change, end of half, end of games, all those different situational football moments, to where the guys have increased focus, they're locked in, they understand and value each play that's going to be played and why we're doing the things that we're doing. So, doing that, getting the opportunity to put the pads back on, set the pads and work our fundamentals and the things that are going to carry, the things that will travel, as we go through this early non-con schedule and as we, really work to build our identity and figure out what this 2021 version of our team is going to be.
Anybody move up the depth chart and that type of thing during camp?
We had lots of guys that did lots of good things, so the guys that really stepped up, different receivers, Flash did some really good things. Dante Cephas had a productive camp. Keyshawn Abram had a productive camp. Devontae Walker came in and provided some great value and did some really good things there offensively. Nakeem Johnson, the tight ends, having Chris Leach healthy and rolling through a full camp was awesome. Aaron Hackett coming in and providing depth at that position was really good. I've sung the praises of Jabbar Price and the way that he's really developed. Antoine Cook coming in from Youngstown State has been a very nice, welcomed addition. Weezy Richardson has been here in the spring, and the competitive depth and the maturity of his nature that he goes about his business has been awesome. Getting KJ back, has been fabulous. Adding Marvin Pierre to the linebacking core has made things really competitive in that room as well. So, all around really talented group, and now we need to come together as a team as we start down this journey, and we have these different opportunities that come up week in and week out.
Yeah, you brought in a bunch of guys, obviously a lot of transfers, in different positions. Who do you think, I know you brought those guys in to make an impact. Obviously they came here to make an impact, but who do you think after seeing these guys a little bit is going to come in and really help you right away?
Yeah, I think Weezy Richardson is one of the guys that pops up, immediately. He's been here since the spring, been really, really productive and has really helped, buy into our culture and help pull some guys along as well, which has been outstanding. Nico Bolden has flashed as well as a transfer, to add some value defensively within teams. His size, speed, his range, and the ground that he can cover, will be an impactful player on special teams for sure, and probably be, a facilitator on defense as well. Mention Antoine Cook, he's been really gone about his business like a pro since he got here. He's been mature in his approach and really seized every single day, every single training session, an opportunity to kind of grow and get better in that regard. And then again, offensively, Nakeem Johnson, Aaron Hackett are guys that are going to add value as well.
How'd you come out health-wise?
We're doing fine. A couple typical camp bumps and bruises and everything, but we've really tapered back the physical nature of things the past couple of days as we've shifted gears to get into this prep and everything. So right now, doing just fine. Nothing too crazy to report on that end.
Jack, do you have any questions here for Coach?
Yeah, Coach, what are some of the things you think will be important to get right in practice this week as you prepare for Saturday?
Everything. We got a really, really talented team that we get to go up against, but Jack, for us, it's maximizing what we're capable of. Obviously, very, very early on here in the season, and we've had some very good back and forth through camp. But I say that kind of tongue in cheek, laughing a little bit. But you come out week one, we got all these new pieces, we got all these new faces in different spots, even though we are a veteran group. But getting this group of young men to play together, and until the lights come on against a very, very good opponent, as much as we can, practice repetition is game reality, and apply the proper kind of heat and pressure, if you will, while we're at practice to build that chemistry of a team. Until you get in the arena, until you get in that environment, I haven't been in an arena with this group of guys, with this staff, when there's 105,000 people going against the sixth ranked team in the country. So right now for us, it's about maximizing what we are capable of, our techniques, our fundamentals, understanding the calls, understanding, the different attention to detail that we need to have in all three phases, because there's hints, there's clues that are out there, there's tendencies. And then it's having urgency to prepare, having some competitive maturity about us that know what's coming, know that where we're at in this journey, that we're 5 days away. Right. And so it's really all of that. It's the process that these guys need to take. And so I say everything because everything matters, especially when you're going against a really talented crew like Coach Fisher and his staff have assembled. I mean, shoot, they've had 3 top 10 recruiting classes the past 3 years. They're super uber talented. And, we got to be on our P's and Q's, and we got to have great attention to detail and a great sense of urgency in our prep, compete at a high level down there.
How different is the game prep for this week one game when you maybe don't know the type of wrinkles you're going to see, and then both from you guys? So, is it more focusing on in-game adjustments, or how is the prep different in week one as opposed to other weeks?
Well, so I think that preparation, started way back in at the start of camp, and obviously the spring ball, because like you said, these week ones, you always kind of get to this point in the week where we've had chasing ghosts, right? Simplify our plan, simplify our prep, because we know early on in these contests, there's going to be different things that we haven't seen, things that are going to present themselves. And as the pieces start moving on the chessboard, you got to be able to have your counter moves and things that you can pull to. So you got to have the ability to have, again, that great foundational understanding of your base concept. So if something pops up, you can get to that and you can make the necessary in-game adjustments. But I believe in keeping it simple. I think simplifying things wins and allows your guys to think fast, know fast, do fast, and go play fast without over processing things. So we're going to take that approach and go give a good shot.
Just how excited are you and your players to get back out there playing in front of fans? You guys didn't do it last year. How exciting is it to get that college football atmosphere back this season?
Yeah, I mean, it's a blast. We were very grateful and thankful for the opportunity to play last year. But, I spoke at a little welcome back event here not too long ago with campus opening up, and it's just, I mentioned it then, I'll mention it now, there was something missing about it. Kent State University, having Dick Stadium packed with fans and having the Northeast Ohio community there with us, providing energy, providing spark, giving our kids some juice. That's what makes college football in particular, very, very fun and very unique. So, it's kind of cool. We're going to have 105,000 people down there. I think last time I checked or something, it's like one of the top 5 biggest venues in all of college football. So we started piping in the band noise and the Aggie yell cheers and all that good stuff, all their fine traditions that they have down there. Once we started this preparation, and there's something about a good college band and some good college cheers that get you going and let you know that, this is real, and excited for the opportunity.
All right, guys, any final questions here for Coach?
Yeah, what makes these guys the number 5-6 team in the nation specifically?
Ooh, they are talented, they are well coached, and they fly around all over the field. You got offensively, they're starting left tackles, an All-American. They're plugging in 4 new starters. But when I look at their their height and size and everything. I mean, you're talking 6'4", 305, 6'4", 320, 6'4", 330, 6'5", 300, 6'4", 325 across the front line. So, that's a pretty imposing force up front. Their skill, everyone's coming back. Very, very dynamic playmakers. They got this kid, Smith, number 0, who lines up all over the place. He was a high school quarterback. They'll put him in the backfield. They'll put him in the slot, create a lot of different mismatch issues with him. He's a home run threat from anywhere on the field. Spiller, their running back, is 6'1", 225, and probably runs like a 4.2, so he can run around you. He can make you miss in a phone booth or run through you. They're very, very talented. So I know they're breaking in a new quarterback, but there's a lot of offensive weapons around that kid, not to mention an All-American tight end that is a matchup problem. And then defensively, they only lost a couple starters from a defense last year that in all SEC play gave up over 30 points a handful of times. They kept 7 opponents in SEC play under 30 points. Their defensive line is long, athletic, hunt to the football, and they're deep, so they're able to roll multiple guys in. They have another number 0. That's their boundary corner, Jones. That's one of the best cover corners, that I've seen. In the last couple of games of the season, he had an ankle injury and he didn't play. And his backup came in and played just as well as he did. So you got guys that can cover, you got guys that can get after the quarterback, and their safeties in the back end. As long as they're healthy, they've been 3-year starters. And those two kids play exceptionally well together. So that continuity with what they do defensively, you don't see many coverage busts. They're very, very disciplined, and they have a passion and a joy for playing the game. I mean, you pop on the tape, and they're talented, and they respect the game, and they play the game the right way. And then they hold special teams, you can tell, in really high regard. Like, it's not a phase of the game where they're like, oh, yeah, special teams, what have you. And they're very sound. They're very talented. They stress you out in some different ways. So the talent level across the board, the way they play, the way that they're coached. I mean, there's a reason why every single preseason magazine you pick up, right? Like, it's kind of the 4 teams that that are at tier 1 that have been in the college football playoffs. And then it's like, hey, who's next? Who can legitimately contend this year? And A&M's that team that's in that conversation. So very talented, great test. Excited for the opportunity to go see where we're at and go compete.
Obviously, your quarterback, national attention at this point. Everybody knows him. Just talk about, this opportunity for him. And you just mentioned who he's facing. I mean, a great challenge and a great chance for him and individually, and obviously your team as a whole to really make a statement here.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously one of those games NFL people have been coming through. They look at the non-conference games that we play. I think the beauty of, who Dustin is and what he's about, the last thing he's thinking about is, hey, I got to have a great game so I can look good individually to help my draft status. That's the furthest thing from his mind. He wants to play to the best of his ability because he knows that that's what's going to give our team the best chance to win. So it's going to take all 10 guys plus himself to do that collectively together. They know the opportunities that are going to present themselves. They know the challenges that are there. And again, we've been talking a lot this whole offseason about the sense of urgency and the attention to detail to go perform at a high level consistently against a worthy opponent, like an A&M. So they're all locked in. They're all focused. It happens to be A&M across the field, but that doesn't change the way that we measure success. If Dustin plays and our offense plays and our whole team plays to what we're capable of, then that's a win for the Kent State Golden Flashes. And we'll see if that's good enough come Saturday night.
You mentioned how big they are up front offensively, and just talk about that matchup. I mean, obviously you've done a lot of things defensively to get better in certain areas, and just talk about, man, what a test and dealing with those guys and how do you do that is there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, again, that size, that strength, that front, is where the game is going to be won. So we got to negate that with, our technique, our fundamentals, our leverage, our quickness, our movements, and presenting a lot of different pictures. So, it's going to be a test. It's going to be a battle. I know the rush defense has been talked a lot about, obviously. And it's one of those deals where, again, we know what's in front of us. We know that we got to be better. Our kids have embraced that challenge, have embraced the opportunity. And we're going to go, we're going to go to work and we're going to give it our best shot come Saturday night.
Last one, just what do you see in your eyes has to happen for you to sit there and be in a football game in the fourth quarter with a chance to pull off an upset?
we got to win the battle of 3.5 yards the majority of the time. Doesn't matter if it's offense or defense. This is a team that if you allow explosive plays or negative plays and you get off schedule too many times, it can get away from you in a hurry. So if we can win that battle of 3.5 yards, 3.5 yards, 3.5 yards, and play each play for what it is and have hyper focus on just that one play and then clear it, refocus, and do that again, that's going to give us a chance to have a 4-quarter battle against a very, very talented football team. But it's going to be a game of 3.5 yards. There's going to be some negative plays. There's going to be some explosive plays. That's the nature of the game, especially week 1. You watch those week 0 games, crazy things happen. The variables that pop up in week 1 are always fun. So we got to do a great job with our controllables and giving ourselves a chance to win. So, no foolish penalties, no pre-snap, mistakes, be sound with our alignment assignment, and then win that 3.5-yard battle the majority of the time, right? Like it's no one wins an election by a unanimous decision, so it's not going to be a deal where we're going to be perfect every single play, but we got to be right majority of the time to give ourselves a chance in the 4th quarter against a very, very talented and well-coached football team.
Last call here for some final questions here for Coach. All right, Coach. We'll see you on Saturday. Best of luck against the Aggies.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Go Flashes.